Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode on the Luk'A'Here y'all podcast with your host Miss Trina. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I know about, which is anxiety. And the reason why I know about it is because I have been diagnosed with it. Yes, I said that. Nobody wants to talk about theirs, but I'm here today to talk about mine. And hopefully help someone out that's struggling with talking about it, or someone that has these same feelings, how to kind of cope with it if you are not actively pursuing help. Okay? So, with that being said, let's get into it. First of all, I want to say I got two parts going to this one today. And the first part would be how to actually be there for someone who is suffering with anxiety. And the second part is how to maintain your own while you helping someone who's suffering with their anxiety. Yeah. So let's get into it, okay? Because first of all, let's get this out the way, okay? It's not about fixing. It's not about being fixed. Okay? That's what it's not about. It's about feeling with. Okay? Fixing it and feeling with. Two different things. Two different things. It's about showing up even if we don't have the perfect words. Because truth is, most of us don't need a fixer. We need a witness. So let's get into it. I want to start off by calling out this myth, okay? That in order to help somebody with anxiety, we have to solve it. No, we don't. We ain't got to solve nothing. See, that's the point that we have to get through to our own selves first when we're dealing with someone with anxiety, when we're really and truly trying to be there for someone with anxiety. So we always want to feel like we saved somebody from doing something, or we helped them out of a certain situation. And, for the most part, some of us feel self-gratification from that. And I'm guilty. I'm one of them because I'm a compassionate caregiver, and I'm thinking that I can fix anything, period. But no, I can't. Not when I find out that my own mental psyche is cracked. Or so-called, I'm just going to say cracked in that way. We are not soul mechanics. You know what I'm talking about? This is what I had to get through to myself. I am not a soul mechanic. I am a soul companion. Two different jobs, two different things, all the way around. You can't tie them in together. You just can't. I'm not a soul mechanic. God is. I'm a soul companion because I'm human with it. You know? So, when I say this, okay, this is what I mean. Real support sounds like, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you, chick. I'm right here with you, dude. Whoever it is, I'm right here with you. That's what real support sounds like. Not, man, you need to go smoke some weed. Girl, you need to go get high. You tripping. That's not support. That, trust me, that ain't support. That's not support. Now, real support looks like I'm right here with you. I mean, right here with you. I don't even know what to do, but sometimes it just takes sitting in silence. Sometimes that's all it takes. Real small things. Sometimes it takes, let me call her and see if she hungry. See if she wants something to eat. Let me call her and see if she got some good stuff going on. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. No demands, no pressure. Just let me text her. I miss you. I love you. I'm thinking about you. That's what you do. That's how you really presently support someone that's going through anxiety. So let's just shift from pressure to perform into permission to be present. Let's shift from that. For real. Because that's me. I always want to give the best advice. I always want to do the right thing. I always want to do, you know, to what I think that, you know, that's according to this person, what I think I should do, what I think should be said, what I think should. Sometimes you don't have to do nothing. Sometimes you don't have to say nothing. You know? It don't take nothing to give somebody a hug. Just a hug. Now, let's talk language. Okay? Now, see, language is important when you're dealing with somebody with anxiety, especially your tone and how you come across. I had to learn this the hard way, for real. I had to learn this the hard way because you already hear my voice. My voice is kind of heavy, you know, and if I don't word my words right or I don't use the right tone, even if I'm in a playful situation, it can come off as hurtful. It can. And I had to learn that the hard way, not through somebody out on the street, but through my own child. Yeah. Sometimes it be your own kids. But anyway, the language, okay, let me tell you what don't help. Let me tell you what don't help at all. Girl, relax. Just relax. Or you say, girl, you just overreacting. Stay tripping. I mean, you always got something going on. For real. That be the language. Or somebody can tell you, oh man, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. Nobody know how you feel. So we not gonna let that be the language. Us caregivers, us companions, we not gonna let that be the language. You know, so we gonna try some of this kind of language instead when you're dealing with somebody with anxiety. Okay, now listen to how these feel instead. That must be really hard, what you going through. I don't even know what it is. I ain't never been through it, but I'm here for you. You see? Or, even if I don't understand it all, I don't understand what you're going through, but I ain't got no problem with being here for you. I ain't got no problem with listening. You see? That sounds so much sexier than, man, quit tripping, don't it? On the cool. Or, like, you can just say something like, would it help if I just sit with you for a bit? You know what I mean? Because words can either build bridges or build walls. Choose softly. Yeah. Words can either build bridges or build walls. So, with that being said, just choose the right tone. For real. Choose the right words. And like I said, even if you don't have the words to say, just sit. Don't cost you no money. Just sit. Now, it's power in small gestures. You know, just like I said. Small gestures are very powerful for somebody that's going through anxiety. You know? A text. A cup of coffee. One of them texts just say, I'm thinking about you today. How you holding up? And one of them texts just say, text me when you feel like talking. You know, it don't ever have to be, always have to be an invasive phone call. And when I say invasive, I mean, you can call somebody that's suffering with anxiety, and this is the conversation. Hello? Hey girl, how you doing today? I'm all right. You really all right, or you just saying you all right? Cause so and so told me that you was. Oh, stop right there. You know, that's one of the things that make people not want to share anything that they personally going through with the next person for fear of this right here. You know, you get that phone call where somebody else is telling you about you because somebody else told them about you, that kind of thing. Yeah, that ain't good, especially to nobody with anxiety or depression. That's not good. That's why you should have that soul circle. I explained that in my last discussion. That soul circle. That one somebody or them two somebodies. It can be three or four somebodies, as long as you know them somebodies are there for the good of you, to help you out, to help you through struggles. You know, so With that being said, the first thing a person say, "Ooh, I hope people just stay out my business." But you know, it's not about being in somebody's business. It's actually about being in someone's well-being. Okay, or you can even say, you want some company?" Even if it's just background noise or whatever. While that person do their thing or do what they want to do, just have somebody present. Just have somebody with them at that time. You know what I mean? Or just to be, like I said, just to be present. Don't think that you are an interruption. You are an interruption, but you are a good interruption. You are an interruption from the silence that they were sitting in. You know what I mean? You interrupting that silence that they were sitting in. You interrupting that isolation that they were sitting in. So that's a good thing. You know, like I said, sometimes it is good being nosy, cause I am. But but there are boundaries though, for real. And we're gonna talk about that in our next segment. But I want to just touch on it right now for the caregivers. Okay. Just let me holler at you for a second. Okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I love you, honey, but I need me a little time for me. Cause what I can't do is pour from an empty soul. I can't give you nothing that I my own self don't have. So let me go refresh. Let me go refurbish. Let my life be buffering for a minute or something. Just, yeah. Let me have this one. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Boundaries are not abandonment, people. They are how we sustain the connection to keep from burning out. And that's just the truth. Boundaries are not abandonment. Not at all. Know who you want in your circle. Know what it takes for you to refresh. It could be something as simple as a cup of coffee in the park. Us as caregivers, we have to refresh too, because burnout is real. Now, I want you to take a breath right now with me. Everybody, just take a breath right now. Who is the one person that you want to support better? What is one way that you can gently show up for them this week or today? Write it down, text it, say it, do it. I don't care what you do. But you don't have to carry them. You ain't got to carry nobody. You just got to walk beside them. Okay? Sometimes people just need a companion. Because like I said, mental healthness is a lonely journey. Sometimes. And I stress sometimes because it doesn't have to be. Not with the family members and community around. It shouldn't have to be. If we all just actually step up, and just take the initiative just to be there for somebody that we know is struggling with, it don't have to be anxiety, it can be depression, it can be some kind of other mental illness, it can be anything, because first of all, we must have compassion in order to have that patience. Those are the two words for today. For real. Patience and compassion. Now, with that being said, my only drawback with the anxiety, is when you have those feelings like something about to happen. Something finna happen. It don't even have to be bad. But you just know it because you have this gnawing feeling in the back of your mind that something finna happen. Something you always got to be on guard. You got to stay on guard. You got to stay defensive. You got to stay defensive. I mean, I did. You couldn't even say nothing to me without my fist balling up. I'm talking about just stay defensive and didn't know why until they gave it a name. And when you give something a name, you actually bring life to it. You really do. I wouldn't have known in a million years that what I was feeling was anxiety until I went and got help. And then when I went and got the help and started addressing it, it's teaching me how I can respond better to certain situations that I used to respond very negatively in. Okay? For real. And I have to be mindful of what I say and do when it comes to, this diagnosis, because before I was, diagnosed with it, I was already brash and blunt. I really was. Anything that formed in my mouth, my mind just come out my mouth. It wasn't no filter between her and her. It just wasn't no filter. But I'm glad I'm learning these tools. I'm glad I'm getting this part of my life together, because compassion, like I said, goes a long way. And it's up to us to understand those around us. So with that being said, on this mental health journey, and with anybody's, mental health journey, if you're going to truly be there and you're going to truly be present, just show up. That's all it takes. Now, this second part. The second part that I wanted to talk about was managing your own anxiety. Real tools for real life. Managing your own anxiety. So, here we go on this second part. You, the caregiver. You, the strong one. You, the warrior who's been holding it together. Let's just be clear. Just because you carry it well, that don't mean it ain't heavy. So, let me just lighten your load, you caregiver you. This is me speaking to myself about my own anxiety and about how to manage that anxiety when it comes to helping another person with being present or being there for another person that's suffering with their anxiety. Okay? I'm not saying I got mine in the bag, it's all good, I know what's going on, so I can help the next person with anxiety. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what Jodeci said. Don't talk, just listen. Let's get into it. First of all, this first part is knowing your triggers. Okay? And that's true for me. Seriously, knowing my triggers. Because if you don't know them, then you're going to constantly be on it. And when I say constantly be on it, trust me, I don't need to give you no examples, but you're going to constantly be on it. Okay? So let's start with awareness first. Okay? When does your anxiety show up? Mine show up when my house get too quiet, or mine show up when my my little sister is going through something medically. Mine show up when I feel like people are playing with me. Okay? And it's not no anxiety to where it's like, it's anxiety to where I'm like, Miss A, you know? So, with that being said, know your triggers. So, but when, you know what, but I had to notice my pattern though, for real. It's actually my pattern is what I call my emotional weather report. Because, like once we start identifying the storms, we can begin to build the shelter. Okay? Once we identify the storms, we can begin building the shelter. Okay? So I'm going to walk you through 3 quick tools that I, found myself to use, when my anxiety begin to kick up. Whether it be a good feeling or a bad feeling. Well, now I'm going to take that lie back. When it's a bad feeling, these are the tools that I use. I use 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in my mind. Like it ain't nothing. For real. Name 5 things I see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I hear, 2 things I smell, and 1 I taste. For real. But see, because, when you put your mind to the side, when you get it off the situation that's happening, and you put your mind to the side, you do be thinking 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Yes, I do. I do. I don't know about the next person, but I do. I have to use that counting method, because that gives me time to actually, think and, not so much as quick to respond or escalate the situation. Let me say it like that. And then I use box breathing, for real. I inhale. I inhale. I inhale. I'm serious. And then seriously, and then when I feel that shift, I'm, I'm back down to it. I'm back down to it. So now sometimes, when I'm having a conversation with someone in, we in a, uh, uh, say we in a relaxed atmosphere. Okay, the atmosphere is supposed to be relaxed. Okay. Now, when I feel like the conversation is going like to the left, it sounds like it's going to the left for me, but it's on time for the person that's talking. It's right on time. It's intact. They know what they're talking about. It's the way they feel, But as soon as it starts to go off the rail for me, I'm telling you, I go to that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 place. I have to go there, and I have to go there like in 10 increments, because I have to be stopped and ask myself, okay, Sean, what is this person really saying? I have to stop, for real. And I have to box breathe, honey. Because I'm telling you, if I don't stop and box breathe or imagine it somewhere else for a minute, then, the situation can go all the way left. I mean, real left, real quick. Now, okay, now you heard of an emergency go bag. That go bag, like they be in your house, like the water, the flashlight, the batteries. Well. I have an emotional go bag. I really do. I have an emotional go bag. See, mine has got a journal in it, where I could just write stuff down that's on my mind or whatever, just to get it out of my mind, and I can call my sister-in-law, because she's a part of my soul circle. I got to have somebody with, grounded in the Lord, grounded in the Word. You know, I have to have that on me, even though I'm not living it. I have to have that. You know, and the reason why I have to have that is because growing up, my grandmother was a preacher, and well, she was my preacher. She was the family preacher. She was the preacher in East Dallas. She was East Dallas's preacher. So, with that being said, we've already grounded in that aspect. But like they said, the preacher's kids are the worst ones. So, but to just let you know though, panic don't RSVP. Baby, it show up when it want to. And it show up at the most inopportune times too. That's why you got to know how to handle this stuff. Because yeah, this is real. Really. Now, I have to have these things called peace practices. You know what I mean? Like, I come in my garage, or I go in my den, or I go in my extra room, or I probably walk around in my backyard or something like that. I have to have these uh, peace practices because, I mean, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is what? Well, the first thing I do is thank the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Because, it couldn't have been this way. And here I am ready to face another day. Not so much as suffering with my anxiety, but dealing with it at this point. Like some people would say, well, the moment I start to do so and so, or the moment I start to do, I start to think about something, the extra thoughts I always want to creep up, in mind. And that is bothersome. And the reason why I say it's bothersome is because, that's not what's going on right now. It be so much going on inside your mind that it's hard to decipher, what thought is going to be the good one or one thought is going to be the bad one. And I'm just telling you the truth. And no, I'm not crazy. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you my truth. I can't tell you about the way other people feel with theirs. I know how I feel with mine. And with that being said, managing my anxiety and coping with it, I have been doing really good while, speaking with a therapist, because at first it was about the medication, but I didn't want the medication because, like I said in my first episode of my mental health series, that ain't nothing but a vice. That's just a distraction. I don't want that. And don't tell me that mental illness can't be cured, because it can. Yes, it can. Just because the textbooks say you are doesn't mean that you are. Jesus has the last say on each and every last soul that's on this planet Earth. Jesus has the last say. So with that being said, while I'm going through this and then maintaining my caring attitude, maintaining my compassion, maintaining my loving of other people, my being helpful of other people, while I'm going through this, the whole while I'm thanking God, because it could easily be different. I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk in straight language to share with you about my mental health issue. I wouldn't be so-called sane enough to put these videos together just to get the information out there to reach people. So I thank God on that end. I thank God in that aspect. So to all you others who are suffering with it, you're not alone. You're not by yourself, and you're not meant to go through this alone. What we do, is cope with it, or have somebody in our life that actually knows, or that actually, can help. And that's a wonderful thing when you got somebody that knows and can help. So, with that being said, like I said, the support network 2 to 3 people that you can call when you're spiraling. You know, your mental health lifelines. That's a playlist that grounds you. My playlist is all smooth jazz. Like when I just want to chill and relax and just let my mind just, go. It's always smooth jazz. It's always music with no words. You know, and I do comfort rituals too. That's one of them. The music. Then sitting in my garage, putting my feet up, loving myself. Plus the prayer and the meditation and the breath work. Or you can write your down a gratitude list of people that you really, really thank for helping you through your mental health struggle. I mean, it can be done and it is appreciated. And I'm actually learning how to heal myself holistically. And I was hoping I can do this before the sun came up. But I see I'm almost in my eyeballs now, so I'm going to go ahead and make this quick. So, the word holistically is an adverb that means looking at something as a whole rather than just focusing on its individual parts. Okay? Like in healthcare, treating a patient holistically means considering their physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being, not just the symptoms. Okay? So it's like stepping back to see the entire forest, not just the trees. You know what I'm saying? So I have to approach this like as a whole. Okay? The whole of what my mental status is, the whole of what I've been diagnosed with. That's how I'm facing it. This is new to me, so I can't hardly just tell you all the ins and outs of it. But like I said, it's new to me. So, and this is something that I'm practicing rather than wanting to take the medication. Okay? Now, with that being said, that's how I manage mine while I'm dealing with being there for someone who is suffering with theirs. So with that being said, since the sun finna come in my eye, I'm gonna have to cut my video short. But I can pause it and come back to it. But who's to say? I'll probably be to research something else and probably be then came back and just screwed it all up. So to keep from doing that, I'm just gonna sign off now. And I'm just gonna let y'all know to remember to just love yourself and love each other. And stay tuned for my next episode. Bye.